Hi, what I'd like to share today is it's this movement flow based on Erik Hawkins' modern dance technique that I studied many, many years ago when I was at university. And it's something that I've kind of kept with me through all parts of my life since, and because it's really good for helping to keep the hips open and just for creating movement and flow through the whole body. So if you'd like to do something that helps to open up the hips and bring flow through your body and mind, you can join with me. So what I do as well is I take a little flat pillow and just put under my hips, depending on, typically we hold, especially Westerners or cultures that we're not used to sitting in this kind of position, we hold a lot of tension in the hips, so this can be rather uncomfortable. So to put something under the hips gives some support, so it supports the spine. And not too high, because then you'll kind of fall off of it when we're doing movement. So we're sitting cross-legged, right leg is in the front. I'm mirroring you, right hand to the side of the hip there. And then just this easy flowing movement out over that knee. Just round flowing. I'm going to do 6 times in each direction. And then we come over to the other side. And again, that arm is just soft, extending. The movement is primarily through the spine, and it's like the arm is an extension of the spine and then toward the center. And then back over to the right, and this time we do an understroke. And then over to the right. That was left there. Good. So that was like one round of this movement. And then between, you come up to a center, arms are out. And then we change the cross of the legs. So you come back on your sits bones, change the cross of the legs. So now the left leg is in front. We do the same thing starting over to the left. Good, and then over to the right. And even if this doesn't feel good on your body just now, just to develop a practice of doing it, the body, start to open again. And then we go to the center. Come back on the spine, and then up and over, come back on the spine. One more time. Good. And then back to the right, and this time it's an under stroke. Movement starts primarily from the hip, and the rest of the body is kind of flowing with that movement. So this really takes some opening up of ways that we don't typically move as we get older. And then coming back to center, back on the sits bones, change the cross of the legs, putting the right hand to the side, and then just reaching up and over. And that's 6. And then this time we go up and over, and then we bring the arm down and around and up. So So to the side, over the knee, around the front, and up. Side and over, around, up. Side, over, around, up. 2 more times. Right. Over, around, and up. Side and over, around, and up. And we're going to do one more before we change. So this one, we're just going to the side and then coming up. Okay, and in the same way, I love that one. So other side, and again, cross the body. And then to the side, over, around, and up, to the side, and over, around, and up, side, over, around, and up, side, over, around, and up. Last time, side, over, around, and up. And change. Now I remember, actually, there was this other one I meant to do. So this one, we just go to the side, and then down, and then up again. So as the arm comes up, the hip comes forward. As the arm comes down, that right hip comes back. So again, it's the idea that the movement comes from that hip, comes from that hip socket and flows through the spine. And then come up to center, and we go to the other side. And again, that left hip draws back and then forward. Good, and to center, let's do it one more time each side. Up to center. And back on the sits bones and change. And I'm not going to do the other side right now. I did too much of that. Anyway, this is my first time doing this, so I'm just going to, it's not perfect. So, so your soles of your feet are together and out from the hips, kind of like, so it makes this, diamond shape between the legs, reaching over the legs, and then the round through the spine as you roll up. And then we go in the other direction where it's kind of a scooping movement forward and then coming up, back and around, up, back and around, up, back and around, up, back and around. Good. And then stretch the legs out in front, and then it's just extending out over the extended legs. Six. And then you stretch the legs out to each side like a V and reaching out over the middle of the legs. Doesn't matter if you feel really tight or you need to bend your knees a bit, it's fine. This is typically a really intense stretch, so not pushing anything. Good. And then putting the right hand on the outside of the right leg, and we're just going to do this flowing movement that your hand, it just strokes along the floor and then comes up and around. Just shoulder height, no higher than that. Good. And then left hand to the outside the left hip. And circle and flow. Good. And then toward the center again. Good. And then hand to the outside of that right hip, reaching over and then over toward the foot, around and up and side and over, around and up, side, over, around and up and side, over, around and up and side, over. Good. And then to the other side. So over, around, up, side, over, around, up, side, over, around, up, side, over. Last time. Up, side, over, around. Okay, good. So with the legs stretched out, we're gonna bend the knees and flex the heels at the same time. So knees up, heels stay in the same place, but it's just we're kind of flexing and extending through the leg. And then one leg at a time, so the right and the left. And then together. Alrighty, so just a gentle stretch forward, and then maybe just roll your knees from side to side, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that first session, and I can lead more of these if you like. It always gives me so much to do this series, so it's fun for me to share. Bye.